guys, welcome to my podcast, All Things Health. My name is Mary Mitchell, your host, and today we have a special guest. Her name is Taylor, and she is a fitness trainer. She is my trainer as well. She's amazing and fantastic. She's based outside of Reading. Take it away, Taylor.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Hello. As Mary said, I'm Taylor and I'm a women's health and fitness coach. I specialize in hormonal health and gut health. So today we're going to be diving into a few topics that I know most of you ladies struggle with. And let's just go ahead and dive in. So the first one I want to discuss is something I know all of us struggle with, and it's self-sabotage. I think we all can relate. You know those times when you just can't show up for yourself, whether it's like skipping your workouts, choosing the unhealthy food, or just feeling stuck. So today I actually want to talk about why that happens so you can actually understand why you're doing it and how to make showing up easier. So first of all, what is self-sabotage and why do we do it? We do the shit that we're not supposed to do and that we know is not good for us. And the thing is, it's actually not because we're lazy. It's not because you're unmotivated. It's actually how our brain is wired. So our brains love comfort, they love routine. Even if those routines suck ass, even if those routines aren't what's best for us, right? So, an example here would be like if you're used to reaching for those chips or I don't know, the mac and cheese when you're stressed, when you're uncomfortable. Your brain sees that as comfort. So even if you truly want to eat healthier, you're going to reach for those things because it's routine, because it's habit. So the reasoning behind this, a little psychology lesson, is our brains create habit to save us energy, which is pretty interesting. So once something becomes a habit, it feels a lot easier to do, right? Because it's a habit. But this also means it's hard to break old habits or habits that, you really don't want to have. So this happens because something called neural pathways. So think of your neural pathways as roads in your brain, and the more you travel a road, the stronger and easier it becomes to take that path or that road again. So this is why reaching for the chips or skipping a workout feels way easier than building a new habit. All right, so now you understand why you self-sabotage. Okay, how the hell do I overcome it? How do I overcome self-sabotage? So number one is going to be start small and celebrate your wins. So an example is if working out for an hour feels too overwhelming for you, can you do 10 minutes? Just start with 10 minutes. Once you do that, make sure to celebrate it. This helps your brain see the habit as rewarding. So small wins, they build your confidence, they create new and positive neural pathways in your brain. Again, your brain thrives on reward. So make sure you're celebrating your wins. And when you do make healthy decisions, whether that's like a quick little workout, you did a 10-minute workout, or you made the choice to have a healthy dinner, like celebrate those wins because what that's going to do is it going to make it easier for you to make the healthy choice again because you're creating those neural pathways. All right, the second thing you want to do is change your environment. So literally make it easier to make the healthier habit. Something I really like, and I tell a lot of my clients, is lay out your workout clothes the night before your workout. So if you're working out in the morning, lay those clothes out, have that outfit ready, make it a cute outfit. It's always easier to work out when it's a cute outfit. But lay that outfit out, or let's say keep healthier snacks around you, right, in plain sight. Just whatever you do, reduce the effort needed to start and make the new habit that you want to implement feel easier. Right, my third tip for you is plan for obstacles. So think about what usually gets in your way and plan for it. So an example here would be if you're a busy mom and the evenings are super chaotic with the kids, schedule a workout in the morning before they wake up. What you can do is get yourself some accountability and support, whether that is your friend, your partner, or just whoever. Just share your goals with someone who can encourage you. And maybe that can be a trainer too, right? But just knowing someone is there to cheer you on and encourage you can make it way easier to show up than just doing it on your own. So I have a client who used to skip workouts because she was too tired after work. We switched her routine to mornings and now she does 30 minutes consistently 3 times a week because it's become a habit and we found a time that made it easier for her to show up, which was the morning because her nights were chaotic with the kids, right? So make it easier for you. If you know the nights are going to be chaotic with kids, work out in the morning. Kind of just to wrap up here, self-sabotage is normal, but it doesn't have to control you. So by understanding how your brain works and making these small strategic changes, you can make showing up a lot easier, which I think we all want it to be easier, right? So make it easier.
I can definitely relate to that. I enjoyed that you shared that topic because I recently have been feeling like I am doing some self-sabotage as well. I got a lot going on and it's really hard to stay on top of things. But my question is, what if it's hard to show up early in the morning before your kids wake up, but it's also hard to show up in the evening as well? How do I plan that if it's just really hard, for me in general?
Yeah. So that is a good question. And I'm going to hit you with that sounds a little bit like the self-sabotage speaking because you're trying to find an excuse as to where you can't fit it. But what I would do with my client is, okay, so what time do you wake up? So we would audit your time. And I want you to tell me what time you wake up, what time you have to leave for work, and what you do in between those times. Could we wake up 20 minutes earlier and do a 20-minute workout, right? Something's better than nothing. So do we have 20 minutes in the morning that we can do it? Or maybe like on your lunch break, you do 20 or 30 minutes on your lunch break, do a workout, but it really depends on your life. So what I would do with my clients is like, hey, let's figure out where it's going to be easiest for us, and it's somewhere in there. But sometimes too, it's like our self-sabotage speaking and trying to come out as well.
Thank you for that advice.
Another topic I want to talk about is gut health and its hidden impact on weight loss and your energy. So, did you know that your gut isn't just about digestion? It affects everything from your weight to your energy to even your mood and your mental health. So, let's kind of break down how your gut works and why it's so important and some simple steps to improve it too. First of all, what is gut health? Your gut is actually way more than just your stomach. It's your whole system. This includes your intestines and the bacteria living in there, which is known as your gut microbiome. Imagine your gut as a garden. So just like plants need really good soil, your body needs really good bacteria to thrive, right? So when the good bacteria are balanced, your body works really smoothly, really good. We're rocking and rolling. And when there's an imbalance, aka too much bad bacteria in your gut, it can cause bloating, low energy, cravings, and even weight gain. I want to touch on how gut health affects our energy and our weight loss. So, number one, let's start with digestion and nutrient absorption. So, a healthy gut helps you break down food and it absorbs the nutrients, right? So, if it's not working well, your body can't get the energy it needs, thus, you're feeling more tired. An example here would be if you eat really healthy food, right? You're eating healthy, poor gut health means you're just not getting all the vitamins and minerals from the food you're eating because you don't have proper absorption. So your body's literally not absorbing the nutrients properly. Another thing that your gut health affects is it affects your hormones. So your gut communicates with your brain and affects hormones like insulin, which controls your blood sugar, and cortisol, which is the stress hormone, right? Everyone talks about that. But imbalances in either one or both, cortisol and blood sugar, can lead to cravings, overeating, or just like that stubborn weight gain. And another piece here I want to mention is your metabolism and fat storage. So, certain gut bacteria can influence how your body literally stores fat and burns calories. So, an unhealthy gut might cause you to store even more fat, even if you're eating the same amount of food as someone else. Some signs to look out for when it comes to poor gut health is going to be bloating, gas, indigestion, if you are having heartburn or acid reflux really often, if you have chronic or commonly have constipation and or diarrhea, so either one of those. Some other ones that kind of might go under the radar is like low energy, if you feel tired all the time, just so exhausted. Food cravings, especially for sugar and carbs, are a good sign of poor gut health. And also mood swings or anxiety, because your gut makes most of your serotonin, which is your happy hormone. And usually, poor skin health is actually not so much about your skin, but it's actually a sign of poor gut health. So, this is why you can spend so much on your skincare products, but they never work. Like your acne never improves no matter what you try. So, here are some simple ways to improve your gut health, girl, because I know you got to be working on that gut health. Number one is going to be eat more fiber. You already saw me coming with that, right? But foods like vegetables, fruits, whole grains, they really feed the good bacteria in your gut. So really simple here, just start with adding an extra serving of veggies to your lunch and dinner. You want to get as close as you can to consuming 25 grams of fiber per day. And you want to try to get it through whole foods. And no cereal, the fiber from cereal, we ain't counting that. So try to get it through whole foods. But little caveat here, jumping too quickly, like if we are way under eating fiber and you go to eating, let's say 25 grams a day, you're also going to have gut issues. So something here is just work yourself up to that. So 25 grams per day is about where we want to be. But if you're sitting around 5 grams per day, okay, could we eat 10 grams per day and then kind of go up from there? The second tip I have for you here is include pro and prebiotics. So probiotics are good bacteria that are found in foods like yogurt and fermented foods, like think like sauerkraut. And prebiotics are fibers that feed the good bacteria. So think like bananas, onions, and garlic. Tip number three is going to be manage your damn stress. So, stress affects your gut brain connection and it can mess up our digestion. You will never heal your gut if you do not learn how to manage your stress. And I got to say this again so it sticks, but you will never heal your gut if you're chronically stressed out all the time. And this doesn't mean you'll never have stress or you're just going to be, oh, yay, I'm just stress free all the time. But when it turns into chronic stress and all the time, this is an issue. So really practice using stress relieving activities like deep breathing or short walks, whatever you have to do, just work on managing your stress. And this looks different for everyone. Find what works for you, but you have to start learning how to regulate your nervous system. All right, and my fourth tip for your gut health, and you will not succeed without this one either, is make sure you are hydrated. Water keeps things moving in your digestive system and it supports your gut health. So shit is literally not moving. You're gonna be constipated and backed up if we are dehydrated. So aim for about like 8 glasses a day. Of course, this is gonna vary person to person, but good rule of thumb. So I've actually worked with tons of clients with gut health issues, but I worked with a specific client who really struggled with bloating, really bad heartburn, really bad acid reflux. I mean, she was throwing up acid reflux in the morning, most mornings, low energy, and we made small changes like adding more fiber, including probiotic foods, managing her stress, and within a few weeks, her mood, her energy, her gut health, everything improved, and the weight loss just became so much easier. If some of these symptoms resonate with you, of course, take the advice I mentioned earlier, plus also probably invest in a good digestive enzyme, and I would say start there because this is going to help you absorb your nutrients more effectively. And I have had some clients who their gut health is just in such a bad place. We do have to do like a full-on protocol, like the autoimmune paleo diet or a low FODMAP diet. However, most people don't need to do this. Most people would just benefit from the advice I said. So fiber, water, things like that, things that we discussed. But there is definitely a need for some special protocols in extreme cases. Your gut health affects so much more than just your digestion. So by taking small steps to improve it, you can see changes in your energy, your mood, mental health, and your weight, obviously, too. It's not what I wanted, not what I had planned, but right, that's sometimes how things work out. So let's talk about recovery. The first 2 weeks of a C-section were really, really rough between like the incision, the pain, limited mobility, I mean, just the exhaustion. Like, I really had to surrender to rest and let my body heal. And I would say, like, about week 3, I started to feel more like myself, a little bit better. And then by week 6, I was pretty close to normal again. Of course, there's like still some pain, but I was pretty close to feeling normal. It was really the first 2 weeks that were pretty rough. And at my 6 weeks postpartum checkup, I was cleared to exercise. I got the green light, good to go. We definitely want to wait for that, ladies. So what I started with is I just eased in with 2 workouts a week. I really focused on pelvic floor and core rehab because even with a C-section, just the weight of pregnancy and having a baby in your belly, it puts a lot of pressure on your pelvic floor. And I definitely noticed a little bit of leaking like during the late pregnancy when the baby's getting heavier, right? Everything feels kind of heavy. Now, almost 5 months postpartum, I'm working out usually on average about 3 times a week, and I'm still, even now, 5 months postpartum, still prioritizing my core and pelvic floor while gradually rebuilding my strength. And I'm still prioritizing my core and pelvic floor gradually while still focusing on strength because you do lose a lot of strength during pregnancy and postpartum. The mistake I see a lot of moms make is they rush back into exercise, whether that be like, hey, I'm a runner, and they rush back into running, or they like to lift and they rush back into lifting as heavy as possible. And this is by far one of the worst things you can do for yourself postpartum because you're asking for injury and you're asking for more pelvic floor dysfunction. So if you like peeing yourself, okay, go ahead, girl. Right? But one of the biggest mindset shifts I had to make was just accepting that I had to start with lighter weights, that I am a little bit weaker than before, and being okay with that. Because it is humbling to go back to exercise or go back to fitness or go back to running, whatever it is for you, and be doing significantly less than you were before. But it's also a reminder that rebuilding properly and doing things properly is so much more important than rushing back. So strength will come back with consistency. We just got to be consistent and we will get there. We will get back. you can really mess things up and make things worse by going too hard too fast. So my pregnancy was somewhat high risk due to a bicornual uterus, but thankfully I actually did have pretty much a smooth and healthy pregnancy and baby arrived safely. She has no health issues, no complications. I know so many moms also go through complicated pregnancies or just difficult recovering, and postpartum can feel very overwhelming. Like, it's normal to feel like a stranger in your own body, to wonder if you'll ever feel strong again, and to struggle with like the exhaustion and emotions that come with postpartum and being a mom. I think that the key for me was just reminding myself that healing isn't linear, like progress takes time, giving myself and my body the grace is just as important as moving it. So if you're postpartum and just feeling super frustrated, just know like your body's healing, give it time, your strength will come back, and you're doing a great job. But I do have some tips how to return to exercise because postnatal fitness is different. So after giving birth, your body does go through a lot of changes, right? We all know that, right? Hormonal shifts, physical recovery, but these changes affect your energy, your strength, and even your mental health. So it's really important that we approach postnatal fitness with care and, again, we don't want to get injured. It is so important to approach postnatal fitness with care to avoid injury and just overall support, right? We don't want to make things worse. So, some common challenges and misconceptions I see is I just need to lose the weight as fast as I can. Whoa, 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 girl. Okay. Your body just went through a huge change, so just prioritize rest, recovery, and strength over your weight loss. Another thing I hear a lot is I should just jump right back into my pre-pregnancy routine. Again, your body needs time to heal. Certain exercises can be really risky if you haven't rebuilt your core and your pelvic floor strength. So, like I said before, you could just be making things worse. So, let's talk about the importance of your core and your pelvic floor. So, pregnancy stretches and it weakens your core and your pelvic floor muscles. Obviously, we know that if you're a mom, we're peeing ourselves sometimes, right? So, if these muscles aren't properly strengthened, if we're not working on our pelvic floor, you could be having issues like back pain, poor posture, or you could be even exacerbating your leaking issue. So the first thing I recommend to all postpartum moms is just starting with diaphragmatic breathing. This really helps you reconnect with your deep core muscles, your pelvic floor, and this is definitely the first place to start postpartum. All right, so the next thing you're going to want to focus on is pelvic floor lifts, like Kegels. So I like to think of this, or I like to give the analogy like pretend that you're picking up a blueberry with your vagina, but not picking it up so hard that you smash it. So pick up that blueberry, but let's not smash the blueberry. Okay, so what exercises are safe to start with? So first thing, I would literally start with the basics. Start with walking. Start slow and short and gradually increase your pace or maybe how long you're walking until you feel stronger. And then the next thing, what I would move on when that feels pretty good, pretty manageable, is start with body weight exercises. So think like glute bridges for hip and core strength, seated leg lifts to engage those lower abs without putting pressure on your pelvic floor. And then after that, I would move on to adding in some resistant bands. So some gentle resistance is safe and it helps you rebuild that strength gradually too. And of course, during pregnancy, we have so many hormonal shifts. Our energy, progesterone, they drop significantly. And this is really going to impact your energy, your mood, and your metabolism. Okay, cool. So, like, what the heck can you do about this? So, as a mom, if you're a postpartum mama, even if you were 9 months postpartum, this is still for you. So, really prioritize sleep whenever it's possible. It's okay to rest instead of work out if you're exhausted. If you're exhausted, take that time to rest. Easier said than done, right? I just had a baby. She's up every 2 hours, wants to eat. Okay, just rest whenever is possible. Another thing you can do is support your hormones through balanced nutrition. So, really, really focus on getting in enough protein, healthy fats, and fiber rich carbs. And make sure we're staying hydrated. Like, hydration is key, especially if you're breastfeeding. And I'm going to say lastly here, just set realistic expectations and staying consistent. It's okay if the progress is slow. Make sure you celebrate your small wins, like going for a short walk or you did a little bit of stretching. Chef's kiss, celebrate that, right? Consistency matters more than intensity. Even if 10 minutes is all you can do, that's going to make a big difference in your day. So just get support from your loved ones, maybe join a community of new moms for motivation, accountability. You know what? Hello, shameless plug. I'm here, right? So you know where to find me. But I work with a lot of moms, and I actually worked with a mom who felt really discouraged because she couldn't keep up with her old workouts. So we just started with simple breathing exercises and short walks. So if maybe a workout doesn't seem manageable right now postpartum, start with the diaphragmatic breathing and go for a short walk. And eventually you can build up your strength and feel more energized without feeling so overwhelmed. When it comes to postnatal fitness, it's not just about how quickly we can bounce back or how quickly we can get back to our pre-pregnancy body. It's about rebuilding your strength and supporting your body's recovery, taking it one step at a time and remembering slow progress is still progress. And if we go too hard too fast, you're going to make things worse, girl. So better just do things the right way.
That's a lot of information and it all sounds very helpful. I do have one question. So, what is diaphragmatic breathing?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, diaphragmatic breathing is think of filling up your belly like a balloon as you inhale and letting the air out gently as you exhale. So, something you want to do is you want to place one hand on your chest and the other on your belly, and you want to try to keep your chest still while your belly is expanding.
Oh, wow. Thank you, Taylor, so much for coming on here at the podcast and teaching us all these amazing health tips. I really look forward to having you in the future again. And thank you, everyone, for listening. Join us next Monday for another topic about smoothies.
Heck yeah, thank you for having me, and I'm excited to hear that one.
Yes.